What is good, YouTube, man? Today I'm back with you guys, with the nation, for another video. And today, we are here, man, because look, free agency, we're coming up on it, man. And outside of the guys that are already on the open market, we already know how this gets down, right? Teams are going to be way over the limit that they have to be at. So they're going to have to get rid of a few guys. And that means that there's more potential for the Raiders to improve their roster. So these are five guys that I think that the Raiders absolutely need to target if they were to be cut. And I think it could happen because all these teams are in the negative. We're going to kick it off, man. We're going to kick it off with a linebacker because we know that that's a main position of concern on this defense. This dude is a true leader. He's a Super Bowl winner. Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner right now with the Seattle or with the Rams, they are $12 million over the cap in the negative. Cutting him would save $5 million into their trying to get back to normals, right? So if Bobby Wagner gets cut, like I said, the man's a true leader. He still played at a very high level. The thing is that Bobby Wagner's not on a long-term contract for them to try to restructure. Jalen Ramsey is on a long-term contract, and I don't think he's going to want to restructure. I don't think that Matthew Stafford is going to want to get out of his big contract that he's in. And this would absolutely get them closer to possibly being back at least in the positive, right? So $5 million is what the Rams would save cutting Bobby Wagner, and there's no doubt that he would be an absolute stud for the Raiders, man. He still played at a super high level. I believe he had a game where he had 22 tackles, man. The dude is a baller, man. We absolutely would need to pounce on this. Imagine Bobby Wagner being behind Max Crosby, being able to teach our young bulls like Divine Diablo. Oh my goodness, that would be absolutely phenomenal, man. And if the Raiders see this guy on the open market again, we need to go out and get him. We need to absolutely go out and get him. Next up on this list. Now, I don't know if this team is actually in the negative, but this man right here, he's dropped off severely after getting his big payday. But we all know that sometimes change of scenery, it helps people. Now, a few years back, Leonard Williams was the talk of the town within the Raider Nation. He got a big contract. He was possibly on the trade block, but now this season, Leonard Williams as a D lineman has a $32 million cap hit, which is absolutely insane. That is a massive cap hit for a non-quarterback. $32 million is what Leonard Williams owed because of the amount of time that they've restructured him. But getting rid of him would save them almost $20 million in cap space, so they could absolutely move on from him. Now, we know that he's had career years under Patrick Graham. His last year under Patrick Graham, he had 11 and a half sacks. 11 and a half sacks his last year under Patrick Graham. This year, he only had 2.5 sacks. Listen, you guys, we know that Dexter Lawrence has really turned on the scene over there in New York. On top of that, they're going to really try to prioritize getting Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones possibly new contracts. This man right here, if he hits the open market, this would be a very good option in the middle of our defensive line. And I would love to see the big cat here if he was to be cut, not if we have to trade for him, because there's no way in hell that I want to get that $32 million contract on the books. Now, next up on this list, somebody who I really like. He is older, but he is at a position of need. And if he hits the open market, again, he proved, just like Bobby Wagner, age is no concern. This man right here played at a high level when he was healthy. I do think he got hurt. But Mr. Shaq Mason. I know that the Buccaneers traded a late 6th or a late 7th for him. So they didn't give too much, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they cut him. Now, the Buccaneers are $55 million in the negative, bro. They have so many players that they need to cut. Julio Jones, Oh, so many guys that they need to cut. But I didn't put Julio Jones on here because we don't need another receiver. But we definitely need a right guard. And if Shaq Mason, somebody who played so many years with Josh McDaniels, becomes available, I know he's in his 30s. You have to get Shaq. If he was cut, the Buccaneers would save $7 million. So that would be a good direction on getting back into the positive for the Buccaneers. But they're $55 million in the negative. Cutting him would save $7. Not too much, but it definitely could happen. Staying on the offensive lineman, next up, we've got a guy who's dealt with a lot of injuries, but we know this man can play at a very, very, very high level. He's a Pro Bowl tackle. He plays in Tennessee, so we know that he can run block. He goes by the name of Taylor Lewan. Now, here's a tricky one, right? Because he's a left tackle. Wherever he goes, he's going to want to get left tackle money. So I don't think that you would cut or trade Colton Miller. Maybe you try and see if either one of those guys are willing to play on the right side. Taylor Lewan, right now, the Tennessee Titans, they're $27 million in the negative. If he was to be cut, he would save them just under $15 million. So Taylor Lewan is definitely a cut option over there, especially with all the injuries he's gotten. I would not mind him playing in the silver and black. He actually has mentioned on his podcast that he wouldn't mind it either. So possibly having 2 offensive linemen get cut, starting caliber offensive linemen due to cap casualties. This could be interesting, and free agency can always shape up to be better. Now, last but not least, somebody that I absolutely wanted 2 off seasons ago, but we were outbid. Byron Jones from the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins are $15 million in the negative. They're 15 over the cap. And cutting Byron Jones is going to save them $5 million. Now, here's the thing. With Byron Jones, he's not going to be your guy like, okay, let's go out there and let's expect him to get 4 or 5 picks a season. No, that's not him. Byron Jones is just a pure coverage guy. He won't get targeted. He won't get targeted because of how good his coverage is. Therefore, you won't really notice him. You won't notice him making plays, but you won't notice him making bad plays. So, in my opinion, we know that Rock Ya-Sin is a guy that's a free agent. If Byron Jones becomes a free agent and we aren't able to pick Rock Ya-Sin back up, I would love to get Byron Jones in on a deal for the Raiders. I think it would make a lot of sense. Like I said, he's a solid number 2 corner. That's what he's been next to Xavier Howard over there in Miami. But I would love to see Byron Jones with the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, we were outbid. We did put a bid in for him 2 off seasons ago before he went from the Cowboys to Miami. But maybe this offseason, if he's cut, maybe he'll want to become a Las Vegas Raiders. But let me know what you guys think. Bobby Wagner, Leonard Williams, Shaq Mason, Taylor Lewan, Byron Jones, all potential cuts candidates for their teams. Let me know what you guys think. Are you taking a flyer on any single one of these guys? If so, let me know who you guys would sign in the comment section down below. As always, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much. On your way out, hit that like as well. And I love y'all. Stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm out, you guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Death Star, where our opponent's dreams come to die.